He has got a brand new single out, which is a great tribute to the later great Michael Jackson. That's what Clinark is known for doing. In the early days when he started off in Bermuda in his shorts, when he first started off singing in a choir out there, you know, a school's choir. You know those shorts and stuff you had to wear in those days? Well, he's gone from there to this. This is the brand new one from Clinark Chicago.
I met her on the way to Chicago when she was all alone, and so was I. So I asked her for her name.
On the Pure Project Music record label, the artist is called Clinark. That is a great track called Chicago. That is, of course, the big one for the late great Michael Jackson, and apparently just celebrated a birthday, I believe. Well, of course, he's known for his production work. Everything on this was put together, done, produced, arranged, and played by Clinark himself. Great artist. He's live in the studio with us. If we press this button, we should have live here with us Clinark.
Yes.
The Reggae Touch. Good evening, greetings, welcome to GFM Radio and Golden Tunes Radio, to the one and only legendary man himself, the Reggae Touch, Mr. Clinark. Good evening, Clinark. Welcome to GFM Radio.
Greetings, David West. Nice to be here.
How you doing? How's things?
I'm good. Everything is fine. Everything is blessed. I'm good. Nice to be.
Tell us a little bit about the single there we just played. It's Chicago. How did that all come about?
That came about every year. I try to do a tribute to Michael Jackson. As you know, he's a great inspiration of mine. All my life, as far as I can remember, the Jackson 5 was the first inspiration to me in music. So since in 2009, even when he was alive, I started doing some covers of it. I did I'll Be There, and then it did really, really well in England. So ever since in the past, people's been telling me to do the tributes every year. So Chicago came about. I did that for this year of his passing, June the 25th. Mm-hmm. So that's how that one came about.
And career many years ago in Bermuda. Now, how did it all start in Bermuda?
Well, I started many years ago in Bermuda. As teenagers after school, me and some brethren used to get together on my garage, my parents' garage, and just fool around with music and just playing the drums, guitars, piano, and everything. So, and then we got serious, and then we said, let's form a band. And so that became Youth Creation. That was way back in Bermuda, so in the 1980s, in high school. So ever since then, and that's where it all started from.
And since then, of course, you brought the Reggae Touch over here to...
Yes, indeed. 2004, I came to the UK for a visit. Juliet became my manager afterwards, and then I came to do some songs, and I liked the vibe so much in England that the following year I decided to live in England. So well, I've been here ever since.
It's really a great joy to have you over here, and you're recording music over here in the UK. Tell us a little bit about your association with Nature Projects music record label.
Well, Nature Projects, we both started this together in 2005, 6, when I decided to live in England and just decided to do my own label, because trying to get record deals and everything is hard. Especially I decided to go independent, and we formed this label, and I started doing my own productions, and it's been happening ever since.
There's always asked me, everybody, why is it you chose to do the tribute to Michael Jackson?
The reason being because so my favorite artist is Michael Jackson, between Michael Jackson and Bob Marley and the Wailers, and also I'm a big fan of Aswad. So from growing up in Bermuda. So Michael, like I say, Michael was my first influence in music. Even though I'm a reggae artist and I reggae all my life, but my first influence in music was the Jackson 5, as far as I can remember. And I get to like I was telling you, I was just a little kid in Bermuda, I was say about 5 or 6 years old, and I used to go around, we used to try to sing the Jackson 5 songs and everything else. So it was just inspiration of him, and he's inspired me all my life, what he's accomplished with music, and he became this great legend. From a kid, he was especially gifted, and it's inspired me.
Tell us, what was it like that you actually met the Jacksons?
Yes. Yes, I met the Jacksons by chance. What happened, they was coming over last year for the proms, for the big BBC proms in the park at Hyde Park, and it was the first time they ever had pop music in it. So their tour manager linked me. He heard with my tributes, and he said my tributes are really, really good, and they had heard them. So he asked me would I like to meet the Jacksons, because he was having no meeting in the morning. I could come to meet them. So it got all arranged by the tour manager, and then it was all arranged, and then I met them the day of the proms on that morning, and I had a really good talk. You know, it was a big blessing in disguise, like I said, because the Jackson 5's been my major inspiration all my life. So it was like a dream come true. It was really a blessing.
When you met the Jacksons, did you ever actually get the chance to go into the Jackson car?
Not the Jackson car. No, we met inside a building, inside a restaurant, and we talked. And we talked about music and everything, and they told me about Michael and how they started. And they was calling me Reggae Man, they was teasing me and having jokes, Mr. Reggae, Mr. Reggae. And they liked how I did the songs in reggae, because that was different to them. They said that's the first time that they ever heard their songs, like Michael's songs in reggae. And they liked it, they said they liked it a lot.
When you recorded the track Chicago, how long did it take you to do it?
In Chicago, it took me about a week or so. I started working on it. I started putting together the rhythm track and some of the instruments, and then I asked the person that's Miss Carrie Hennessy to help me with some of the orchestration of the music as well, to put together this particular song. So it took us about a week or so, a week and a half to do.
I understand all the instruments were actually played by you on there.
Yes, I played all the instruments myself, all the production, everything. I did all the instruments and also the mixing and everything, yes.
I've got a message comes up from Jenny Jen. Jenny Jen wants to say hello to the Reggae Touch Clinic. Mr. Clinic Dill, Jenny Jen wants to say hello to you.
Hello, greetings Jenny Jen. Bless up yourself every time, respect.
Tell us a little bit about an album now. I've got an album that we're going to feature, an album which is called Tribute to Michael Jackson, A Legend and a Warrior by Clinark the Reggae Touch. Now tell us, why did you decide to do 18 tracks, and what gave you the influence of this album?
Well, the reason I did this album because, like I said, in 2009 I started doing the tributes, and then fans, a lot of the Michael Jackson fans said that I should do an album, a tribute album to him. But I said no, I don't want to do an album right away. I want to wait a while.
Don't care about skin and dead. Everybody complex situation, hypervision. Everybody allegation in the suit on the loose. Everybody talk.
Some of the albums that you've done, you've worked with some really, really great artists. Tell us a bit about the artists you've worked with.
Yes, when I first came to England, I worked on my original album called Journey to Foreign. But what happened, instead of the Journey to Foreign coming out, I did a tour in Holland, and at this particular venue was the first time they ever had reggae there, and the engineer that captured the song, he captured it so good, the quality of the song was so good, that the band that backed me, Poor Man Friends, said, you should bring this album out as a live album.
How come now you want to run away? How come now you want to run away? Oh yeah. How come now you want to run away?
Maxi Breeze, Reggie Spice, Phantom Mojo, Kofi. So it was a great, Peter and Gramps Morgan from Morgan Heritage. So it was really, really wonderful to be able to work with these type of artists. Because what happened, I asked them, I sent them the songs and see if they would like it. And say, maybe they will, maybe they wouldn't. But the day what all of them got back to me and said they would like these songs. So it ended up being a lot of collaboration, because I only expected to really do like about one or two, but it ended up being about a good 8 or so collaborations. So they all liked it. So they liked the music, and that's why they worked with me.
It was the album Journey.
Journey to Foreign, yes.
Is it still available?
Yes, it's available on iTunes, Amazon, all digital download stores. The hard copies, the CD copies are sold out. They sold out a few years ago. I'm thinking about one day maybe repressing it again. So, but right now it's no CDs.
My son, my son, my son. Fathers and sons should stick together.
Maxi Breeze. What made you decide to have a Maxi Breeze track on it?
Do Maxi, what happened when we was in the studio, when I first did the album, Mafia and Flux the studio, Maxi Breeze Mafia was calling Maxi Breeze all the time, and he said, "Come and hear this guy from Bermuda." And Maxi Breeze has ties to Bermuda, and so he has a son from Bermuda. So he has ties to Bermuda anyway. So Maxi came in the studio, and he was listening to the song "As a Man I Weep," and he was singing along with it, and he really liked it when I laid down the dummy vocal. So I asked him there and then, I said, "We might as well do a collaboration." And he laughed and joked about it and everything, but he said, "When I'm ready, I'm gonna link him." So about 2 years later, when I was able to lay down the final vocals and put the final production together, I asked him again, and he said yes. And so that's how that came to be. And that's one of the most popular songs on the album, "As a Man I Weep." A lot of people seem to like that one a lot.
What about Glorified?
Now, Glorified, I gave Luciano. Same thing, Luciano heard the track. We didn't meet in person. I sent the track to Luciano in Jamaica, and he heard it, and he liked the vibe. So he voiced his part in Jamaica and sent the vocals and everything back here to me. And we did mix the final mix and everything in Stingray Studio.
It's a fire of his spark. The messenger and Clinark. The judgment start. The revolution. Many men have ruled their kingdom. Many have been slaughtered in battles untold. How much pain must a mother?
And I did my part here.
Right, I've got some people here up on the Facebook. DJ Derek King over there in New York, he says, "Give a big shout out to Clinton from all the Golden Tunes Radio crew. That's www.goldentunesradio.com. They want to say a big hi to one and only legendary Clinark Girl. Also, a lady up there in Newcastle, yes indeed, a lady up there in Newcastle, Jules Toon, she says, good, say hi from her to you." So, Jules Toon up there in Newcastle, also saying hi to you, Clint.
Bless up, Jules, to big up Golden Tunes Radio, Derek and all the crew. Much respect and thank you for your support. And keep up all the good work that you're doing for radio music as well.
Golden Tunes does a lot. Also, another one is out right in the heart of Jamaica. Congo Billy wanted to say hello to you. Mr. Congo Billy is an artist himself, also sending out a lot of respect to you as well.
Bless up, Congo Billy. Bless up yourself every time. Respect.
And we've got the album, which of course, as you know, it's called Michael Jackson, A Legend and a Warrior by Clinark. We've got a track on it, one of the great tracks. In fact, it's the #1 track on the album called They Don't Really Care About Us. Who produced this track for you?
This particular track was produced by myself and Mafia and Floxy.
And
was recorded at Stingray Studios.
How long did that take to put together?
That particular track took about, say, a day or so to put together. That one there. We did the basic demo rhythm, same day. We did all the music and everything. And then I came back and did the vocals about a week and a half later. So it took about 2 days in order to complete.
Well, we're going to give it a spin. We're playing this one for all the family on www.goldentunesradio.com over there in New York. And a special big fan of yours, DJ Derek King, OBE, MBE, that's right. He's got an OBE and he's got an MBE as well. So we're going to play the track. It's called They Don't Really Care About Us. It's from the album Tribute to Michael Jackson, A Legend and a Warrior. It's by...
They don't care about us. 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 Skin and dead, everybody combat situation, aggravation, everybody allegation in the suit on the loose. Everybody dog food, bang bang, shot dead. Everybody's gone mad. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Beat me, hate me, you could never break me. Feel me, thrill me, you could never kill me. Do me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, strike me, don't you black or white me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. I tell me
Dave. Yeah.
Groovy! The Chair Project's music record label and music publishers, also Clinark.com. Track called Rock My World. Why did you choose to do this specific track?
Rock My World, that one because that was one of Michael's last songs on his last album that he ever produced called the Invincible album. And that song there has a wicked groove to it. I like that one very much, so that's why I chose that. And also, what I did, I asked some of the fans which songs that I do on the album as well, and that was one of them that I picked. So that's the reason why I did that particular song.
How long did it take you to put that one together?
That one about, same thing, about a day, like I said, one day we did all the music, and then on the next day, we did the vocals and everything. So let's say same thing about 2 days.
Did you do that one over here in the UK clinic? Was it actually done over here, UK style?
Yes, it was done over here. Everything was done here in the UK. At Stingray Studio with Mafia and Floxy, Stanley Andrews, and the crew produced.
Who's playing instruments on that, most of the tracks?
That one, on that, all the tracks, mostly all of them on that album is Mafia and Floxy, drum and bass and keyboards, and Stanley Andrews on guitars. And on horns, there's no particular horns on this particular album, so it's mainly them. And backing vocals is Bob Burnett and Adele Harley and myself.
Come on, girl. Rock my world.
I've got a message here coming over. It says, "Hi Clinark, keep up the good, beautiful voice. Much respect. Hi Clinark, keep up the good work. Much respect." That's from a lady up there in Birmingham, Miss Phyllis Roden. Phyllis Roden says, "Hi Clinark, keep up the good work."
Yeah, big up Phyllis Roden, bless her. That's our favorite time.
Of course, she's one of your big fans over there.
Thank you. One love.
So, out of all the years that you have now been doing some great Jackson tracks, which has been your favourite Jackson track of all time now that you've done as a tribute?
That's a hard one there. You put me on the spot on that one. That's a really hard choice. I could say one of the ones that I really like a lot. It's not even a popular song. That's the thing about it. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people didn't even know it was the Jacksons. But a song called "We're Almost There." That's on the album. "We're Almost There." I like that one a real lot. And that's one of the songs from when they asked the Jacksons, probably in the mid or late 70s. That's, like I said, that's probably one of my favorite.
You also done some tracks with a lady from out of the Midlands as well.
Yes, I did one with Adele Harley, a collaboration. That was the first song that I did, and that really wasn't a tribute. It was just a cover of "I'll Be There," and I did that in 2009. When Michael was still living, I did that in May because he was supposed to come to England to do the "This Is It" tour, and I just did it. I was singing the song around at the house, and Juliet said, "You should record this song. You should go in the studio and record it because you're singing good." So I got in contact with Mafia and Floxy and Stingray, and we went in the studio and laid the track down and recorded, and I also collaborated with Adele Harley.
You and I must make a pact. We must bring salvation back. Where there is love, I'll be there. I'll reach out my hand to you. I'll have faith in all you do. Just call my name, and I'll be there.
I'll be there to comfort you, build my world I've dreamed around. Yeah, I'm so glad that I found you. I'll be there with love so strong. I'll be your strength. You know I keep holding on.
so many tracks that you've actually done. Like you said, it is hard to actually find a favourite, but all of the tracks, if you listen to them and lay back, you think, hey, is this Jackson singing?
I don't know about that, but I just do my best. So, you know, I just do them in my interpretation of the songs, you know, paying tribute to the great band that inspired me.
Tell us a little bit about the videos and where can the public obtain your videos from?
Okay, the videos are on YouTube. You can see everything on YouTube at Clinark, Natural Projects Music, and also my website, www.clinark.com. Facebook, I put the stuff up on Facebook, my Clinark official page, and the tribute to Michael Jackson page I have on there, and Twitter, Instagram, etc. So all the social medias I'm on, LinkedIn, so you can check out all my music and everything there. And for sale, everything's for sale on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, and all good digital download stores.
A lot learned. Also, over the past, recently you've been doing a couple of gigs here and there in the UK.
Yes, I'm doing some gigs. I did the last one I did was at the Hootenanny. That went really well earlier this year. And give thanks to Cecil Rubin for having me, and Phenomena from Open the Gate Crew. And that was a wicked show. You know, pure vibes, and you know, I'm starting to do more shows now here and there because I suffer from vertigo, but I'm starting to feel a lot better now to be able to start performing again at times. So, you know, every so often I do shows.
A few years ago, you did I think it was a few years ago, you did the carnival over there in Leicester, the Leicester Carnival.
Yes.
Tell us about that one, the Leicester Carnival.
Well, that was good. That was a wicked experience. What happened a few years ago, Juliet applied to do the Leicester Carnival, and a lady, the organizer of it, came back to us, and she heard my music and said, yes, they definitely want us to do it. And so we made, and it was good vibes, good vibes. And the thing about it, that was when Leicester City just came up to the Premier League, and I did it, and we stayed at the place right next to the football stadium. You could look out the window, the football stadium was right there.
You're a traitor. You're a Liverpool man.
Yeah, so I was telling all the Leicester people when we went to eat that I'm going to have to come down here when Liverpool play you.
Now we're still waiting for this single. I don't know if it's going to come out this year. It was done by Jerry Marsden many years ago. It came one of the national anthems of the Liverpool Football Club. You Will Never Walk Alone. You know the track and you know the tune. We heard that you may be doing it a cover version of reggae.
Yeah, you keep on telling me. One of these days I may do it. I'm wondering how it would sound in reggae. It'd be very interesting.
Well,
but I might just do it.
The thing is, your manager, Juliet, told me you were definitely going to be doing a version of it this year.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, maybe you have to work that out. Maybe I will by Christmas time.
Do you think it's possible though?
It's possible, yes, definitely possible. Yes.
It'd be interesting though, wouldn't it? Because it's totally different and it's for your...
different.
I saw you on Facebook at the Tottenham game this weekend.
Yes, this weekend I went to see Liverpool when they play Tottenham. I try to get there every season, like when they come down to Tottenham with me. So I was there and I enjoyed it. It was a great game, even though we showed one.
It was 1-1, wasn't it?
It was a draw,
yeah.
One apiece, yeah. Got a great seat right next to the field.
I've got a message from Jennifer Cheshire. She says, interview very interesting.
Give thanks.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jennifer, it's your turn next week, so be ready. It's your turn next week. Right, so we're going to give this spin the track Rock My World. Is there anybody you'd like us to play it for, Clinark?
I'm going to give a big up to all fans, all the people back in from Bermuda, and all the people from different parts of the world, like Holland, etc., United States of America, California, the Michael Jackson fans who have supported me doing my works through the years. So I'd like to just dedicate it to each and every one, people that gave that support.
Well, we're going to play it for Jen Cheshire as well, because she's a very big fan of yours.
Okay, good, thanks.
Take it away, Clinark, take it away!
We're almost there. We're almost there. Yes, we're almost there. Oh no, little heart, test may seem. Don't give up our plans. Don't give up our dreams. Almost there. Just one more. Almost there. 'Cause we're almost there. Oh, bless her.
Definitely 100%. There you go. You see, Dave West knows how to put the artists on the spotlight, and that was our very own spotlight and our very own GFM Radio Golden Tunes Radio X Factor edition with the legendary Clinark Deal. Right, Clinark, we've got a track here. The one is called Liberian Girl. Tell us a little bit about that.
Liberian Girl, I like that one there a lot as well, because the reason being because that one has like a say Caribbean type of flavor to it, and it has like almost like a reggae type of vibe to it. You know, if you listen to the bass line and the way how the music is put together, that song is really a very touching, special song. That's why I picked that particular one.
And you like this track?
Yeah, I like that one. That's one of my favorites as well.
Did it take long to do this one?
Same thing. The music was done in a day, all the instruments and everything, and the basic track was done in a day, and the vocals were done the next day. So like 2 days.
What else is in the pipeline from the Nature Projects and Clinark Deal? What else can we expect in the pipeline?
Well, right now, I just did the new tribute, Chicago, and I also did a original song, tribute to the great Muhammad Ali, called Float. And what I'm doing now is trying to get the videos finished for the 2 particular songs, and then I'm working on some more singles, some new original singles. So that should be out hopefully in the next few months or so, and the video should be out as well pretty soon.
What made you decide to do the Float?
Float, what happened, that song after Muhammad Ali passed away, I was just fooling around on the keyboards, and I said I want to do a song to tribute to Muhammad Ali because he is a great inspiration, to the world. Just not only for his boxing, but for his political views and, for peace and what the man stood for. So I just started vibing this one. I got the keyboard out and started, laying down some melodies of chords and everything. So I just started singing, the chorus line, and then the vibes just came to me, the vibes of that particular track. So I wrote that song in one night, and finished it and mixed it and everything, and got it mastered. So it took about 2 or 3 days to do that one.
I understand as well you went to an exhibition today at the O2.
Yes, I went to, because I've been meaning to go to it all year, because today was the last day of the Muhammad Ali exhibition at the O2 in London here. And today, it closed today was the last day of it, so I went today finally at the last minute. So it was really great, it was really, really wonderful. You see all the memorabilia of his life, and all the history, all of his medals, his gold medals, his heavyweight belts, the gloves he wore from, when he classes clay when he first started up to the end, the white that got stolen from him. So much history, it was wonderful, it was really, really wonderful to see all that, and then the people talking all about history, a lot of his films, and it was wonderful, it was a really wonderful experience. I'm glad I got to see it.
Well, being you're such a big fan of him, I'll tell you what, before we play that track we were talking about, we are going to play the track Float. Now, I understand, and I've heard it from very, very good sources, because one day I was in the studio and I was playing it, and the window was open, and a little sparrow came along and sat on my shoulder, on the side here on my shoulder, and said to me, "Did you know Clinark done everything on this record?" Tell us what you actually did on the record itself.
Okay, I did all the instruments. I did the bass line, the drum track, the guitar tracks, and also the keys, all the keyboard parts. So I produced it, mixed it and everything myself, and all the vocals, the lead and background vocals for this track.
And you done all the production and mixing yourself?
Yes, all the production and mixing and everything myself, yes.
How long did it take to put this one together? That's interesting.
It took about, about a week to put that one together.
A week?
About a week, yeah.
Goodness me, it's not all that long really when you think about it,
yeah,
is it?
About a week, because I was messing around with it, on and off, so about a week in total.
Have we got a lot of your own productions coming up sort of this year and early part of next year?
Yes, I'm leaning more to doing my own productions. Now I still work with a lot of producers as well, semi-go rhythms and everything, so, but, a mixture of both, some rhythms and stuff from other people and some from myself as well, so it'll be a mixture of both.
Now tell us your association with your co-founder of Nature Projects record label. I understand she's been writing some of the tracks with you.
Yes, Mr. Yes, Miss Juliet Edwards, yes, is my manager, co-founder of Nature Projects Music. Yes, when I first came to England, we linked up and everything, and she's also a writer as well. She does poetry and everything. So when I started writing out some of the songs and everything, she started having the inputs and everything and ideas, and her lyrics are really, really great. So I said, you might as well write some of the songs with me. So we ended up joining up in there. She ended up writing some of the lyrics and everything. But for a good bit of the songs on the Journey to Foreign album, and even some of the singles, we write some of a good bit of the songs together.
I don't know what
Lyrical
track.
content.
I don't know what track it is, Clinark, but I was told that the one and only sensational Juliet Edwards plays drums and bongos on one of the tracks. or could it have been the Spoons?
Yeah, it must be the Spoons.
Which one? Now, Juliet's in the studio with us. Which was it? Was it bongos, drums, or spoons?
Neither.
Neither?
Neither, no.
Oh, good to see.
I just organise and manage.
And made the tea.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you've done a fine job. Now, tell us how the people can get hold of the track Float.
They can get Go to Float on iTunes, Amazon, or you could need down in the stores, HMV, Music, everywhere on digital stores all over the world. You can get hold of that one.
Well, we're going to give it a spin. It's brand new. Is it on the general release as yet?
Yes, it's on general release now. Yes, it's on.
We've been playing it as a Dave West Red Hot Poker tip for the top.
Yeah, it came out early part of June.
I've got a message here from Jenny Jen. She says, he has a beautiful voice, full voice. MJ would be proud of Clinark. She means Michael Jackson will be proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Well, she does know her music, and I know she likes the tributes that you've done.
Okay.
But she's saying there that you have a beautiful voice, a full voice. MJ would be proud of Clinark. Dave West Facebook, and we most certainly put him on the spot. We like putting people on the spot, as Juliet knows that herself. We done it to her a few weeks ago, and you can ask anything you like. Right, let's give it a spin.
The champion, Muhammad Ali, floating like a butterfly, stung like a bee. Muhammad Ali, floating like a butterfly, stung like a bee. Muhammad Ali, he was born in the United States of America as Cassius Clay, but he made a mark in the world, you see, as Muhammad Ali.
Greetings and big up all the listeners out there on Yard Vibes Radio 876. How you doing? Welcome. That, of course, is one of the brand new singles from Clinic Dill called The Float. And of course, the artist behind that is my very, very special guest right here live in the studios with the Dave West, the legendary Dave West. Don't forget, of course, on September the 21st, which is a Wednesday, the 21st of September, very big Dave West radio show on the radio. Going to be celebrating 48 years of radio. History in the making, once again with Dave West on the radio. Right, Clinark.
Yes, sir.
There's a little funny story behind this track and behind this. Tell us all about it, where it fits in.
Yes, what happened, I finished the track and everything, mixed it and everything, so I played it back, Juliet heard it, my manager, and she comes and says, oh, well, it's one thing you forgot about this song. The song sounds good, but it's one thing you forgot. You don't have no women in there, you got all men freedom fighters in there. So I said, well, I can't change it now because it's too late, the song's already mixed and everything. I said, no, you have to put a woman in there. So I did, and I put in Harriet Tubman, and she was a great freedom fighter from America. So what I did, I tried to squeeze it in to some way that would fit. Well, I don't know if people could tell, and so but it squeezed there somewhere. And we had a big laugh and joke about it because it was this big fight about, you have to put a woman freedom fighter in there, not all men.
Women.
So women's rights.
They're ganging up on us now. They're ganging up on us.
That's a funny story.
But did you have to remix the track to put that in?
Yes, I had to remix it and everything. I had to remix it all over again.
Goodness me, your manager kept you going.
Yeah.
Good. It's a great album as well, isn't it? This.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Thank you very much. I did the best. I did the best of my ability. Just tried my best and to pay tribute to the great man who inspired me.
And of course, there's 18 tracks on it. One of the other great tracks on this Clinark is a track called "Heal the World." Tell us about that one.
Yes, "Heal the World." That's a song. It's a universal language. That particular song, because it's about healing the world for everyone. And the way how, like, if the children come and their children singing, and the way how they did the video, it's a really touching song too. So I did that song because it's like a universal song of love, healing the world, because the world does need healing, because of so much violence and so much devastation that's going on, and Michael wrote this particular song. So that's a really, really nice, touching song as well. That's the reason I did that song, because the meaning of the lyric content of that particular song.
Right, okay, we're going to give it a spin. This is from the album Tribute to Michael Jackson, a legend and a warrior by the Clinark, the Reggae Touch, my very, very special guest, live in the studios of the Dave West. Here is the man himself, Clinark. There you go, featuring my very special guest in the studios. It's from the album Tribute to Michael Jackson, a legend and a warrior by Clinark, the Reggae Touch. One of the most popular tracks on this album. That, of course, is his version of the big hits. I'll be there. Do you know what, Juliet?
Yes?
I feel some a cappella coming on. I definitely feel some a cappella in my bones.
Yes, so do I.
feel the X Factor, the Dave West X Factor is in fashion once again, and I feel some a cappella coming in. Mr. Clinark Dill, it's a cappella time.
Put me on the spot again. Get a youth on a mission, get a youth on a mission. Burn down wicked intention, get a youth on a mission, get a youth on a mission. Burn down wicked intentions. Educate your mind and free your soul. The one like no fool, you got to be bold. Life is so precious for you to behold. Worth much more than gold. Ghetto soldiers fighting for the cause. Done with the city and the concrete wars. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. No more war. Get to youth on a mission. Listen.
There you go, that's of course live and direct in the studios, the one and only fantastic, fabulous Clinark. He said I'm putting him on the spot. Now Clinark, would Dave West put you on the spot?
No, I definitely so.
No, I would never, ever do that. There was a track on here as well, which is called the Heartbreak Hotel. Tell us a bit about your Heartbreak Hotel.
That Heartbreak Hotel is another great Jackson song from the Jackson era. That one there I liked a lot from when Michael did it, and I wanted to do it like a dancehall type of vibe, because I wanted to kind of mix the album up, not just have all one style of music. So I liked that particular track a lot, and we did it in a dancehall way. So that one that's a very popular one as well. A lot of people seem to like that one as well.
How long did that one take to get together?
That same day, we did it, all the music and all the instrumentation and everything in one day, 4 days of recording, and then the vocals and everything we done in another day, so about 2 days as well.
And is it one of your favourite tracks?
Yes, that's another one that's one of the favourites as well, in the particular album.
We definitely got. Can you remember how long ago was it when Michael actually had it as a hit?
Let's see. I think he had it when that
I'll
was
put you on the spot.
That's right, you put me on the spot, you're going way back. I think it was in the early 80s. It had to be on the early 80s, I think. It was very early 80s, I think.
I'll tell you what, we got a gentleman who was a bit of a musical connoisseur at Golden Tunes Radio. That's right, Golden Tunes Radio out there in New York. His name is DJ Derek King. He's a bit of a legend in radio. Now, we're going to throw that question out to DJ Derek King. We're going to ask Derek, can you tell us, Derek, the record, we're talking about Heartbreak Hotel, can you tell us what year it came out? Can you tell us what year it came out, Derek? I bet you can't, but here it is.
We walked up the stairs, took a seat in the room. There were two girls sitting in my room. She walked up in my face, said, "This is the place." We said, "Meet you right here." This is Heartbreak Hotel. Welcome to Heartbreak Hotel. This place is Heartbreak Hotel. This place is Heartbreak Hotel. Hope is dead. She thought that I had cheated for another lover. I turned my back to see that I am undercover. Now I can't convince this girl there be no other.
Someone's evil to hurt my soul. Every smile's a charlatan begun to hurt me. This is scaring me.
There was another track on this album, Clinark, which is called I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Eng Span. What does that mean?
Okay, that one, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, is a track that I did as a single. That was one that I did also on the anniversary of Michael's passing. I think that the first did that one as a single in 2010 with a lady from Puerto Rico named Ellie. She is one of the presidents of one of the Michael Jackson fan clubs in Puerto Rico. So we collaborated on that particular song. She did her part in Spanish in her language, and then I did one in English, and that's how that came about.
And it says, of course, it says ENG stroke span.
Yes, I did the English version of it, and I did the Spanish version of it.
And
my part in English.
How long did it take to get that one together? That's the interesting thing on this one.
That one there, I did all my vocals and everything here, and she did her vocals in Puerto Rico and sent her vocals over, and then we sent it off to get it mixed and mastered. So that was about Mafia and
Fluxy, quite a lot you worked with them.
I worked with them quite a bit.
How did you find working with them? Did you get a lot of influence out of them?
Yes, I got a lot of good influence from them. They're good, really cool guys, really humble, fun, a lot of laughs and jokes and everything. So really nice guys to work with. Really, really nice guys.
A question we always ask our guests in the studio when they come in is, I mean, you've been doing reggae for quite a long time. Over the years that you've been around or you've been listening, who's influenced you most in reggae?
As far as reggae music, I say the biggest influence on me, Bob Marley and...
I knew you was going to say that.
Bob Marley and probably secondly, probably Aswad. The early Aswad and Aswad. I remember Vince before was there. Say, like from the 80s when I was coming up. It's probably my Steel Pulse I liked a lot too, but I said Bob Marley and the Raiders and Aswad probably my music.
You know, Grizzly originally started off as an actor.
Yes, as a child actor, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he was in Bleaser.
Yeah, and
he was quite good in that.
Double Deckers or something.
Yeah. What about Gramps? Your association with Gramps and the boys?
Yeah, Gramps from Morgan Heritage, cool guy as well. We started linking with Gramps. I started talking to him some years ago. We became friends and everything, and we asked him about the collaboration, and we met up and everything. So, not a cool guy as well, really, really nice guy, full of fun and jokes and laughter. And also he is producing Ari Love, and that's how I came about to work with Ari Love as well, because she is one of the proteges working on the Morgan Heritage.
When they called you name, yeah, you had no friends to call your own. Oh yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true.
He really, really loves you.
He loves you.
Oh yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true.
He really, really loves you.
He loves you. He was there when you were hungry. Mother struggled to find food to eat. Yeah. And father worked so hard. He had no time to sleep.
Oh yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true, yeah. Oh,
He really, really loves you.
he loves you.
Oh yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true, yes, it's true, yeah.
He really, really loves you.
He loves you, yeah.
So, like, he's a nice guy as well.
Did you ever get the chance to see the whole gang, the whole Reggae Family live on stage all together?
Yes, I saw them all together, yes. I'm seeing them a few times. a few times back home in Bermuda, and also I saw him in England a couple of times as well. And back home in Bermuda for the Journey to Foreign.
Yeah.
And Morgan Heritage was in there. Peter and Graham took part in it. They actually sang Life and Again to live in it together, all together. Back in Bermuda on the beach at Snorkel Park, so that was a great experience too. So really cool guys.
How do you find them when they play live as the Royal Family on stage? What do you think of them?
Well, I think they're good. I think they're one of the best reggae bands out there now. Currently the new generation. First, I've been out since I think they came out in the 90s, I think, early 90s, and they're one of the most consistent for solid, good reggae, strong reggae music. They're one of the most consistent Morgan Heritage.
They're very versatile.
Very versatile as well. Yeah, because they started off as pure roots and culture, and then they went more like kind of crossover vibe. So they are very versatile. They do very.
Too many lands and overseas. Now crying I can deal with life's brutality. Ooh, yeah. Every other day facing mortality. As long as we live, we'll hold firm. We're sure one day the tables will turn. As long as we live, we'll hold firm. For the tables must turn. Life indicator is controlling my mind. I'm free, yes I'm free, but this freedom is so unkind. Yes I'm free, yes I'm free, but this freedom is so unkind. Life indicator, all my brethren, can't you see? Life indicator, all my sisters, can't you see? Life in the, 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 oh life in the ghetto, oh life.
Gideon.
Various styles of reggae. They're good, very good.
Would you ever like to work with Sly and Robbie?
Yes. Sly and Robbie's one of the legends, one of the greats, all-time greats of reggae music. Yeah, that'll be something. Yeah.
Oh, for years.
For years they've been cheap.
The
Yeah.
boys,
And they're still getting strong. to this
they're
day.
still there backing loads of people.
Yes, I see. So that's good. That's veterans, and like I said, one of the best, one of the greatest musicians of all time.
We'll have
The
to
Rhythm
get-
Twins.
What we're going to do, we're going to have to influence your manager and get your manager to get you hooked up with them.
We got a track from
More work.
No, more work, less play. More work, less play.
Pay?
I'll tell you what, you'll get another Kit Kat for that. They'll give you another Kit Kat bar. Yes, you'll get another Kit Kat bar. How's that one, Juliet? You can have a Kit Kat bar.
Yeah, sounds good.
And a ginger beer.
Some rum cream would do nicely.
Every time to the one and only Reggae Touch, a very rare appearance live on the radio. Normally he does his radio interviews on the phone, but of course, because we gave him a box of gold medals, yes, there were 6 gold medals in this box, he said, okay Dave, I'm coming live. So there you go, you see, that's what you have to do to get Clinark Deal live on the radio. You give him a box of gold medals. I'm not quite sure what he's going to do with them. He's probably got some eggs in there as well, you know, those, what do you call it, eggs, Cadbury's cream eggs as well, like Clinark. We're going to finish off with a final song, which is a track called Gone Too Soon. Tell us a bit about that track.
Yes, that one is a song that's going too soon. It's a very, I can say, it's an uplifting song, but it's a very sad song as well. Of course, I guess you know Michael Jackson passed, and it's going way too soon. You know, still at a young age of 50 years old. That's not old. So that one is like a dedication to him, you know, and his life, and for all what he's done for the world through his music, and may his legacy continue to live on, you know, forever. And I think it will.
So tell us, tell all our listeners how they can get hold of all your materials and where it's all purchases and your videos and things, where they can get it all from.
They can get everything on my website at clinark.com, www.clinark.com. Everything is there. Also on CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, and all the videos are on YouTube. You can just look under Natural Projects Music on YouTube, and you see all the videos there as well.
Okay, well, we've got to thank you for spending time with us right here on GFM Radio and Golden Tunes Radio, live here in the studios of GFM Radio. We've got to thank you for coming in. It's been a great pleasure to have the one and only Clinark, the Reggae Touch, right by the side of Dave West. You'll be able to see the functions a little bit later on, and some pictures and things on my wall and on Clinark's wall, and of course on the manager's wall, Juliet Edwards. We've got to thank the one and only legendary Juliet Edwards for making it possible, and sort of like putting him on a lead and a lash and bringing him in the studios and letting him out for the night. So Juliet, thank you for that.
Thanks as well, Dave, and thanks for all the listeners tuning in.
Yes, I've got to thank all the listeners, all the people that's been through on the Facebook. You've got a lot of fans out there, Clinark. A lot of anything you want to say to your fans before?
I'd like to say to all my fans and friends, family, etc. I'd like to say thank you for all your support, and thanks for all those who are listening in tonight and everything. And thanks. I'd like to say one love and blessings to each and every one for their guidance.
So we've got to say a very, very big thank you, Clinark, for coming in. After all this time, this is the first time we actually get to meet
That's
in
right,
person.
after all these years, actually, the first time I'm meeting in person, yeah, that's right.
It is. First time.
Yeah.
So the Reggae Touch. Right, we're gonna finish off with the track from the album tribute to Michael Jackson, the Legend of the Warrior, by the Clinark, the Reggae Touch, a track called Gone Too Soon. Once again, many, many thanks, Clinark, for coming into the studios.
One love, yes.